In the midst of a deadly pandemic sweeping the globe, the leader of New Zealand sounds a note of optimism.
Yesterday, I remain cautiously optimistic that we are starting to turn a corner.
Since the beginning of the outbreak, New Zealand has identified more than 1,200 coronavirus cases and suffered just one death. Do you think New Zealand has lessons to offer other countries with how it has dealt with this crisis?
I think the go hard, go early is the lesson, but obviously we're not out of the woods yet.
New Zealand identified its first case of coronavirus on February 28th. Less than 3 weeks later, Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern announced New Zealand would become one of the first democracies to shut its borders.
From 11:59 p.m. tonight, we will close our border to any non-residents and citizens attempting to travel here.
The ban on foreign visitors, a dramatic move for an island nation whose economy depends on tourism.
Over the past few weeks, the world has changed, and it has changed very quickly.
2 days later, a rare address from the Prime Minister's office, not seen in New Zealand in decades, outlining a response plan. Just 4 days after that, Ardern imposed a state of emergency and announced a nationwide shutdown.
As we head into the next 4 weeks, stay at home. It will break the chain of transmission, and it will save lives.
Enforcement hasn't been easy. Police received tens of thousands of reports of people ignoring the lockdown, including these surfers. But the most egregious case came from the country's health minister.
And I was wrong.
Ardern demoted but did not fire him after he drove his family to the beach for a walk.
I've been a bit of an idiot, if I'm being frank, and I understand why people will be angry with me.
Ardern was thrust into the international spotlight last year when an Australian gunman massacred Muslims in the city of Christchurch. 72 hours after the deadliest mass shooting in New Zealand's history, Ardern announced a ban on semi-automatic weapons, while also consoling a traumatized nation.
Evening, everyone.
In this latest crisis, the 39-year-old has shown her softer side, broadcasting live on Facebook in a sweatshirt, and sending a message to children that, despite the lockdown, the Easter Bunny is still an essential worker.
And if the Easter Bunny doesn't make it to your household, then we have to understand that it's a bit difficult at the moment for the bunny to perhaps get everywhere.
It is far too early to say whether New Zealand's strategy will succeed, but there may be some lessons here for other countries grappling with coronavirus. Ivan Watson, CNN.